should this hive go down rather, which is going to be very, very useful, as this base is not the most easily defended anymore, considering it only has the spawning pool and the roach warren in it now. It makes more sense to move your production facilities as a Zerg, when you can afford to, into much more defensible positions. And as his army seems to be concentrated around this middle and top base, since he'll be wanting to defend his economy as he plants this hatchery here, another Nexus now going down from Mana, finally expanding again. Needs to make sure he keeps that alive, as he will be running out of minerals very, very shortly. And now we see Neural Parasite going down from the Infestors. That could be really, really good against Colossi. You can Neural Parasite the Colossi or the Immortals, use them to decimate these Zealots and Stalkers before you then take them down with your Corruptors and Broodlords. And we see now a large force massing here for mouz.MaNa. Could potentially blink all these Stalkers up into the main base and do some real damage there. Is instead going to move up, just checking to see whether or not he's taken that gold base yet. He hasn't, so he continues to move in. Spinecrawlers now moving and reburying themselves. Needs to hold off until they are reburied. And a large engagement going down with Psystorms dropping everywhere. The Roaches and Infestors moving in now, fungling these Zealots and Archons, and so many Broodlords. But the Psystorms are going down from the High Templar, who then morph into Archons. But it is stopped, the push is stymied. Just 2 Queens here, with energy on 1, allowing for the transfuse. Is pushing him all the way back to his more defensible goal base. Lots and lots of Broodlords there. 7 Broodlords. And Neural Parasite finishes. And we see the Stargate switch. The Stargate switch finally occurs for mouz.MaNa. That is exciting to me. That is very, very exciting to me. He has this base. He has both gas taking there now. This base is still mining. This base here, also still mining. If we come up here, we see a second Stargate now in production. 2 Stargates going down. It will be interesting to see whether we get solely Void Rays, solely Phoenixes, or a mixture of the both. Wants to build a Nexus here, but this Overlord is being incredibly annoying. Is going to have to send some units down to deal with it and wait until the creep spread is gone. So that is a nice delaying tactic from mouz.MaNa. These Overlords, just keeping them safe over here and keeping these ones, if I can click on it, I am useful. Keeping these Overlords safe over here. Those will be his supply Overlords. Any other ones will be used for scouting, such as this, this, and this. Now, does he know about these Stargates yet? No, he doesn't. He does not know about anything here. So we could see a real advantage coming now. The Great Aspire is nearly finished. 2 Void Rays are in production. 2 Void Rays are going to come out and are going to decimate this army. So good against the Spinecrawlers, against the Broodlords, against the Infestors. Everything dies so quick to Void Rays. I love them. I love them so much. I could almost marry them. A Warp Prism coming out as well. That could be useful. Along with the Nexus going down here. I am a yawny man today. I am a yawny man all the time. This game is lasting forever, as so many of the European games tend to do. This is worrying to me, as it is 9:45 and the GSL starts at 10:10. So this game has now become a race. Will it finish in time for me to watch the GSL, or will I talk forever until my throat dies? It is, of course, my own fault for waking up so late, on account of being the laziest person in existence. Not a lot going on at the moment. Mana is securing these bases. He is teching to the Void Rays, as we see here. So I doubt we'll see much of a push from him now until he hits the 200 food with the mass amounts of Void Rays that he can get. But as we see, a push for Zealots in here, using the Warp Prism effectively. He's going to try and take out the Great Aspire yet again. That is so frustrating. That takes so long to rebuild. He fungles those Zealots, and it's not going to be enough. The Spire goes down. So he has to yet again rebuild that Spire and Great Aspire. I think perhaps it was a mistake putting it there, knowing the close air positions. could have built it here instead, which I feel, while would have been vulnerable to a main push across here, would have been less vulnerable to the Warp Prism warp in. But a very good move. Again, he's going to warp in. Just a force of zealots here. I assume he's just going to come in and attack some drones now. I can't see him taking down the lair in time. Yep, he's just going to charge forward and take down as many drones as he can. Again, pulling DIMAGA's army out of position. These pushes are so good by Mana. These little pokes are going to be so frustrating. What it forces him to do now is keep this force of corruptors up here instead of in this position here where he'd like them. It's forcing them to patrol back and forth now to watch for that Warp Prism poking in yet again, but that Warp Prism is sitting out of range here. If he knew it was there, which he does, if he's looking, he could go in and attack. But the creep tumors are now being taken down. Again, very good by Mana, using the Observer and these Stalkers to take out the creep tumors, forcing him to remake them, as this creep will now vanish very quickly. Does take down an Overlord, that's not going to matter too much. Is trying to take down this hive now, which will be annoying, and I think he's going to get it. No, he chooses not to focus down on it, and instead just gets fungled and everything dies. I figure it would have been much better for him to take down that hive. Even though this lair is here, it would have forced him to remake this into a hive to remake the Greater Spire. As we see now, a Greater Spire is being remade. But now this will regenerate. I don't think it did him any good to focus on his attackers, as those Stalkers were going to die whatever happened. He'd have been better off trying to kill this. Trying to kill the hive, and then blinking out. And now we see ground weapons level 3 being upgraded, and air weapons level 1 for the Protoss being upgraded now. These Void Rays are going to be very effective. Look at them! So many Void Rays. That is 10 Void Rays. Oh, things will die so fast to that. That is scary. That is not what you want to see when you move forward as any player. I know, it panics me as a Terran when I push forward and see 10 Void Rays. I generally cry and then lose the game. As we see, DIMAGA there was trying to take that gold base, but is again stopped by Mana. That is this base completely mined out, including gas. So that is 1, 2, 3 bases completely mined out by DIMAGA. He has this base still, he has this base still, but he's going to need to take this gold at some point during this game, because these will not sustain him against mouz.MaNa's sustained pushes. These are going to cause so much damage. These Void Rays are. He needs to push at some point. I assume he's waiting for the upgrades to finish. That's the only thing I can think of, as the Evo chamber does now finish for DIMAGA, so he can again focus on upgrading his units. But the only reason I can think for not pushing out now I simply cannot stop yawning. I do apologise. It is so unprofessional of me. I'm just talking so much and getting so excited I'm not getting the requisite oxygen in my lungs. And air weapons level 3 finishes. He pushes forwards. Ground weapons level 3 will finish during this attack. These spine crawlers are going to die. The Void Rays are all charging up. Needs to focus them on the Brood Lords rather than the Broodlings, so that they can charge up. But with 10, it's so hard to charge them. And they all get fungled. They all get fungled. Oh my god. So many now in orange, in red. So many Void Rays going down. This was not the best of attacks whatsoever. He loses nearly all the Void Rays. Oh, he only has 2 Void Rays left of the original 10. Oh my word. One is about to go down if he can attack it. Oh, Infested Terran's just too far away. Oh dear. And now takes this gold base. What a poor attack from Mana. Loses all his Void Rays. Oh my. needs to avoid clumping them like that. And now Dimaga expanding to this gold base. What a strange twist of fate. When I saw all those void rays, I thought that could